Good morning, good day, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you're at, whenever you're watching this video. Thanks for joining back in. I must apologize for this static screen. I lost my introductory video. I cannot find it. To give you a summary of what's about to happen for this one and a new intro is I went around to 3 to 4 different banks, grabbed a bunch of customer wrapped nickels. So box number 18 on my hunt and fill is customer wrapped. It's going to be a good video here, folks. I'm going to bring you in. I'm not going to waste a lot of time with this introduction. I'm going to get going with this hunt, knowing that they are customer wrapped for you guys, and I'll bring you back in for these finds along the way. Take a look at what just came up here, folks. We are on roll number 17 of this customer wrapped box, and we've got silver. That is a Philadelphia silver war nickel with that mint mark on top. Let's check out the year in 3, 2, 1, flip. That is a 1943. Common year, 271 million minted, 1943 silver war nickel from Philadelphia Mint. Take a look at this pile that's accumulating in these first 17 rolls. 8 more rolls, I'll bring you in for the mid-box summary. All right, folks, here we are at the end of half a box, so 25 rolls, and man, we got a lot of finds. That's why I like hunting customer wrapped. You never know what you're going to get. And I mean, look at this. Yes, there's a lot there, but it actually comes all the way down here. Just running out of camera space. That's a good one. So Canadians, we've had 4 Canadians. We have a 1977, we have a 1982, 1988, and a 1994. So all very common Canadian 5-cent pieces, nickels, if you will. Of our modern finds, we had 1969 San Francisco. We have 7 1970 San Franciscos. We did have those lower mintage. There we go. We did have a 2009 Denver. And we did have the moderns. Look at that. We have 2 semi-quincentennials, both of which are Philadelphia. Still looking for the Denvers of those. Of our key finds, look at that. First year, first year Jefferson, 1938, and that is a Philly. Still looking for the Denver and San Francisco, but to see a first year Jefferson, that's always a win, as well as this 1943 Philadelphia silver war nickel. A little damaged, but man, those are 2 great finds in this group. Of the 1940s, we do have another lower date there. That is a 1940, but what makes that a key or important date is that's a San Francisco. 1940 San Francisco, don't see those too often. We have a 1941 Denver. We have a 1946 Philadelphia. 47s, we have 2 1947, both of which are from San Francisco or from Philadelphia, but we also have a 1947 Denver. So we got a nice set there. We have a 1948 Denver, and we have a 1949 Philadelphia. So some good finds for the 40s there. Let's see if I can get going. I got so excited with this one when it came face up. Look at that, 1950. Everybody gets excited when they see that date, and then they feel their heart drops when they flip it, and it's just a Philly, not the Denver, not the 1950D everybody's looking for, but man, that gave me a moment of excitement. We also got 1951, also from Philadelphia. We got 1952, Philadelphia. Got 1953, if I would choose to focus here, and that one also is Philadelphia. So 50, 51, 52, 53 from Philly. We got 1955 Denver. We got very beat up, corroded, I'm going to say backyard find. Look at that, chipped up. I can't even tell. I think that's got a mint mark. Yeah, Denver mint mark, but that's a 1956 ugly. We got a 1958. This is the interesting one, 1958. I'm going to say that's a Philly. You can see on the edge there, right where the mint mark should be or could be, there is a little corrosion in relation to this one. You can see where that mint mark should be on the edge. So it's right there. I'm going to say that does not have a mint mark. That is just corrosion there. So we got a Philly and a Denver of 1958. And then, of course, three 1959s, and all of those are the Denver Mint. So 25 rolls. Let's zoom out here a little bit. Press our buttons. I mean, look at all those finds. For 25 rolls, I'm only halfway through the box, so I'm excited, curious, excited to see where these next 25 rolls will take us. So I will bring you in for the final summary, unless something spectacular comes in along the way. Now that we're here also halfway, put into consideration, give me those thumbs up, click that subscribe button while you're thinking about it, and I'll see you in here for the end summary. Well, that didn't take long. Roll number 29. Look at this. Oh, man. I love customer wrapped rolls. We have a 1936. Look at that. You can clearly see that date. 1936 Buffalo Indian Head nickel. Let's check out for the mint mark in 3, 2, 1. Flip. There is a mint mark. That is San Francisco. We have a 1936 San Francisco. That's a lower mintage Buffalo nickel in a customer wrapped rolls. I love customer wrapped rolls for this reason. Let's just take a quick look here, see if there's any other. If there's one in a roll, I always hope for a second one, and not a second one. All right, I'm going to go through these, and I'll bring you back in for the next find. Roll number 40, folks, and look at this. I got off-center, just a couple, bring you in. Last time I brought you in, I think, was for that 1936 Buffalo. Since then, I did have this one. This is a new one for me. Confedero Ratio Helvetica. That is a Swiss coin, 1969. And that is a 20, whatever their equivalent of a nickel is. That's Swiss. That's a new one, new foreign for me, but bonus points for that. I did have another roll here with a dime. Unfortunately, that is a modern dirty dime, so bonus on that. The rest are 40s, 50s I'll get into, but take a look at that. Can you see that from here? Look at that background. Look at that mirror-like finish. See it better on the backside. That caught my eye, and then when I zoomed in and took a look, that is 1972 San Francisco. So we've got a proof. So this is a winner box of customer wrapped rolls. I got a proof, I got a Buffalo, I got a silver earlier in the box. I got foreigns. This is a great box overall. I'm going to keep on hunting. 10 rolls left, and I'll bring you back in for the summary. All right, folks, here we are finally at the end. The second half, not as popular as the first half. I didn't bother with my 40s or 50s. I'm going to separate that out in the end. We did have some 70 or 68, 68 San Franciscos. We also had some semi-quincentennial. I can speak. Semi-quincentennials in there as well, but we'll see that in the summary of the whole. The key line, best line, is this upper line up top. We did have that. New one for me, if we can get that to focus, 1969, and that is that Sweden coin, Helvetica. Swedish coin. We had a couple Canadians. We did have a dime, but these are my three pride and joys. Of this one, we have a 1936 San Francisco Buffalo. Fine. We had that 1972 San Francisco. That is a proof nickel there as well. And this one, I'm going to have to pull up on our camera for you to see, but that's a 1961, and that has some possible doubling on there. So let me set this all up for the final, set up my scope, and we'll take a look at what a full box of customer wrapped nickels will have given us. All right, folks, here we are at the full summary, and look at this. I mean, I can barely get it all in camera here. What a customer wrapped box. So this is 50 rolls, $100 worth of nickels. I went around to 3-4 different banks to get all customer wrapped. And look at this spread. I got a little bit of everything. here, and I did point this one out. So I gave some grades to it, and I'll explain that here at the end. So I was saying earlier, just briefly, this is that 1961. We're going to flip this over into the camera. And if we take a look here, get that focused here, I always look at the 60s mint marks to look for doubling. And I mean, that's hard to see on this one here. Let me zoom that in a little bit more. You can see a little bit on the edge of that D in that northwest corner. I went, oh, is this a repunched mint mark? And then I said, okay, let's always take a look at everything else. And then I started looking at E pluribus unum. And look at that on the U, the R, the U, the S. Look at unum on that N and that M. And went, oh, I might have a complete repunch. Look at the L's on Monticello. You see a little bit there on the edge. Let me see if I can get something here to help point this out a little bit better. But look, yeah, look at that. I mean, we got the bottom of the L and the E. Look at if we look at the E here inside the E, the outer on the M, the R. I think we've got a full blown along with that D. I mean, look right there at that C and the I and the R. I think we got a nice little double die going on here, double die reverse. Again, there's that unum, that U, that top of the S, the serifs on the U and the N. Make those comments below. Tell me what you think on this one. Is that a double die? Or is that machine doubling? What are your thoughts on that? So that's that 1961. We did have here that proof, as we just showed, that 1972 San Francisco. I just took my cloth and wiped that up a little bit, get the fingerprints off it. Looks pretty good. We got a 1936 San Francisco Buffalo, not a low minted Buffalo, but great to see a Buffalo here. We got a 1938. That's the first year Jefferson nickel. That is a Philly, so a little lower mintage coin there. We got 1943 Philadelphia war nickel. So like I said, those are some of the key finds here. I got to just do, I'm just doing some math here on the side here. Of our foreigns, we did have my favorite, because I've never seen one before, 1969, what is that? Confederado Helvetica. That is a Swedish 20 piece. We've got a 1971. I won't show all of these, but that's a dirty Canadian there. But we've got 71, 77, 82, 88, 93, and 94 Canadian 5 cents for our foreigns. We did find one dime in there. We also did find a 2009 Denver. Always nice to see those 2009 still in there. And we did get 4 semi-quincentennial. Unfortunately, all 4 of those are Philadelphia mints. Being closer to it, that's all I expect in circulation right now. I'll throw those back in because I have the Philly. I need the Denver. Of our San Franciscos, we've got 3 1968, 1 1969, and a bunch, 3, 6, 7, 1970 San Francisco mints to add to my collection. And now we're getting into sort of the key dates, 1940s and 50s. And if I remember right, this is the 1940 San Francisco. Don't see, again, many San Franciscos. We got 1940 Philadelphia. We had a 1941 Denver. Of our, jumping up here to our 46s, we have 1, 2, 3, 1946 Phillies, common coins, but then we had this 1946 San Francisco. And this again is a little lower on the lower mintage side, but a nice find nonetheless. Of our 1947s, we got 1, 2, 3 from Philadelphia, and we did get 1 from Denver. We have a 1948 Denver and a 1949 Philadelphia. 1950s, I had that heart racing. Look at that, 1950. Always getting excited until you flip it over. And there it is. It's a 1950 Philadelphia, not the Denver we're looking for. We have a 1950 1951, and that is also Philadelphia, not the lower mintages that we need. We had 1952 Philadelphia, 1953 Philadelphia, 1954 Philadelphia, 1955. Now, with these 55s, I don't know. Let's flip the screen here because we have this one, which is clearly the 55 Denver. But now I want to take a look at this one with a 55 on there. So, oh, wait, maybe it's not the 55s. Let me just look under the scope. Yeah, Denver and Denver. So that's not the ones I was thinking of. I'm sorry about that. Those are 55 Denver's common Denver coins. I was thinking it was maybe it's the 58s. We have a very dirty 1956, which is a Denver. We have a 1957, again, dirty Denver. And then 58 Denver. And this is the one. All right, let's get our scope out here. Come on. So again, what we were looking at here is the 58 clear Denver, nice nestled in the corner there. But then I pull out this this 58, and that's just, there's some damage right there. So I don't know. It's right about where the mint mark should be, a little bit lower. I expect the mint mark to be a little bit down and closer. So that might be just off. And if that is a 58 Philly, which I'm going to call that to be, that might be a lower minted. It's not a key date, but a lower mintage coin nonetheless. And let's turn that off. So 1959s, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. And we have Denver, 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 and Denver. So all 5 are Denver minted. So grading on these, if you ever follow one, the first coin people I was following, because he was local, it used to be local in my backyard here, was Quinn's Coin, another Michigander. So I was supporting his channel, and he's got a little grading system I like using for boxes of nickels. And yeah, so this box would be a total of 162 points, making that note, counting 50s 2, 40s 4, 30s 5, Buffalo's 15, War Nickels 10, Proof was 10, Foreign Coins 2 each, the 2009 for 5. Low mintage has some extra points. But yeah, so these were a total of 162 points for the box. So that's a win overall. In form of my books, the 1950 Philadelphia is a book filler. I'm going through this backwards. I need a 55 Philly, and these were both Denvers, so that didn't work. So I need 55 Philly, 50, the 43P I already have. Well, that could be an upgrader. Yeah, that's going to be an upgrader. I'll pull that one aside. And the 1938 I already have. Gotta grab my Buffalo album here, and we'll take a look at that. So now what we can see, I'm going to make a mess. I don't want to make a mess out of some of these. So here is our album. And again, these are the last coins that I need. I need that 55 Philly. I needed that 1950 Philly. Make sure that's the Philly. Goes right in there. That's a book filler. And if we slide over here to that 43P, they're both a little dirty, but you know what? I like that one better. So replace and upgrade that. So we got the 44D, 43D, 42D for our War Nickels. We've got the 39S, 38D and S. And that's it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 coins left to complete the album. Let's go over here to our Buffalo. And this is that. Got a lot to fill here. I need the 36, 28, and 1936. Oh, look at that. I already have a 36S. Huh. Which one's looking better there? They're looking pretty equal, but I'm going to call this an upgrader. because this one's got a big scratch across the top. Replace that, put that in there. All right, so that's that. So thank you guys for joining in on this album Hunt and Fill. I'm going to probably call this a video here, clean up this mess. I do have a box of Bankrupt coming next. If I edit this video down short, I might merge the two. I probably do this as two different videos here. Just leave this one here. And then we got that competition, 162 points. We did get one album filled, two upgraders in these albums. So it's a great hunt overall. So thank you for joining in. If you haven't already, please remember, hit that subscribe button. Give me those thumbs up. I really do appreciate you guys working that algorithm, YouTube algorithm. And until the next time, have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day and happy hunting.